Welcome back to Around the Table with Dan and Ann. And
I was jamming.
you were, and I had to get our guest to. I said,
Yeah.
punch him. He did a fine job. I probably would
I
have
did the
punched him
same-
just a little harder.
I did the same thing in school. Kids would have to poke me. The teacher's talking. You need to pay attention.
Whatever, Dan. In the studio, we have Truman Copeland, and he's running for the Arkansas State House of Representatives for District 5.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in to talk about your candidacy, and we want to know what made you decide to do it, for one, and what your vision is. But tell us why you've decided to run for that.
Yeah, so a big reason why I decided to run, of course, I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran. I'm a
Okay.
disabled veteran. And so one of the things that I did in the service whenever I decided to run, whenever I decided to join up, I wanted to serve 20, 30 years. And of course, taking some injuries, I can't do that anymore. And so I continued to want to have this passion to serve my country. And I think that that's one of the big reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But I've kind of frayed away from it a little bit, and then I felt like a Jonah kind of running away. And then I got on a boat, and
You went to
eventually,
Nineveh.
and eventually I said, you know what? Send me. I'm going to go do it. I'm going to
Okay.
go
Oh,
do
wow.
what I'm supposed to,
Yeah.
what you're calling me to do.
Well, I'm
Wow.
sure that was a big decision. I mean, it's you're doing, you're representing our district for the state.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're battling the big stuff down there in Little Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Have you
Yeah.
had any experience with that? I mean, you know what you're getting into.
Oh, yeah. So I don't have any necessarily political experience, but I have talked to some of these political action committees, and I actually even went to a class on Saturday, and one of the things that they were kind of teaching us in the class was that some things that I completely disagree with. I don't think that you need to fight dirty, but I do think you need to be bold. I think that you need to have bold statements and actual policy that you're going to stand behind, and actually be able to fight the guys that just want the same status quo.
Well,
If you want the best for your people.
You know, in today's day and age, you hear politicians in general speak a lot about what they're going to do, but you never see it come to fruition. And so your viewpoint is, I want to make it happen. Okay, that's good.
What do you see in our district that I mean, you're representing the people here.
Absolutely.
Is there any messages that you want to take to Little Rock?
Yeah, so one of the big messages that I want to take, so a huge push in the entire country, but especially here in Arkansas, is trying to remove state income tax. I hear all of the time, that's what I want to do. I never hear the why or how. And if we just eradicate state income tax, we're going to find taxes everywhere else to replace
Make
it.
up, yeah.
And so we have to first create transparency. Of course, whenever I decided to run, I did a lot of research, and it's very hard to get into the nitty-gritty of exactly where this money is getting spent. You can find out, we're sending this much money here and this much money there, but then, okay, well, what does the book say? I know as an individual citizen, whenever I decide to itemize my taxes, I better have receipts.
Right.
And I don't see any receipts. I don't think that it's necessary for an Arkansan to put in a Freedom of Information Act to get these receipts. And I think that they should be open.
Open to the public. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the money that I pay in, it's the money you guys pay in,
Right.
it's the people that pay in here. And then once we find out and have that transparency, then we can say, okay, well, this and this and this and this can go because you're spending $100 per pen because you just want to have fancy pens. And I think that that's ridiculous. And I can speak from experience being in the Marine Corps for 2 years. I did kind of like a supply side thing with hazardous material. And one of the things that I noticed was a bag of 100 rivets would cost $10,000. It's like,
Wow.
I guess I'm in the wrong business, and it's because we put too much red tape on things, and then there's not enough transparency with the people. And of course, now that's a federal thing, but it's going to be the same stuff with the state. And so we just need to create that transparency first, and then we can work back off of that transparency to actually give the money of the Arkansans back to the
Yeah, I think Elon Musk did something similar to that with Doge, and he got frustrated and
Well, it
know.
didn't change anything. You know.
he may have changed. He may have opened people's eyes to the
Yes.
fact that there was waste and fraud and abuse. But I think that he came across the same type of situation where he would look at the books, and there was open checks given to organizations, and there was no receipts or itemizations or whatever in the books.
Right.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, and if we can get audited here in Arkansas, well, why can't we audit our government?
Yeah, sure.
Our government is for us. We're not for our government, and we need to get back on.
Now, is that your
track.
main platform?
My main platform is actually education. I'm in college right now. I'll be graduating with an associate's on Friday, but I'm going to become a social studies teacher for high school. And my things that I love talking and teaching people about civics, and I love teaching people about personal finance. And so I think that those two things coincide together really well. But at the same time, it's one of those things that we talk a lot about our education. And our education, we just recently, the last 6 months, we've came out and we found that we have some of the lowest test scores that we've ever have as a nation, which means that we're failing. And one of the things that there's a few studies out there, and they all kind of come together and say this, come to the same conclusion. From 1950 to 2015, we've doubled the amount of students, we've tripled the amount of teachers, and we've octupled the amount of administration. So it kind of just shows that every time we increase the funding to education, it doesn't go back to the students, it goes to an administration. And sometimes that administration, of course, you go through the study a little bit more, that administration can go into, say, it might add a few janitorial staff, or it might add some cafeteria ladies, it might add some of these, some of other positions that might be necessary, but I don't see the correlation of if we doubled students, why did we octuple administration?
Right.
I think we can lower that and then fix and give that money back to the students in a way that actually matters to them.
Yeah.
Well, so you have obviously an interest in it because you are a student. Are you here at North Ark?
That's what I'll be graduating at on Friday.
Well, congratulations on that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you're kind of like wanting to just hit the ground running with this, don't you?
Yeah.
So you say you've been going door to door.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Been going door to door talking to people, and I think that's the most important thing. Is I think people don't feel like they've been heard, and I know whenever I was in the Marine Corps and I was fighting against getting the COVID-19 vaccine, I reached out to my congressmen and my senators, and I never got anything back. And so it felt like I was on my island, and I had to fight, and I had to fight against the Department of Defense. I had to fight all the way up to, at that point, I believe it was Floyd Austin, that was the Secretary of Defense at the time. And it was just, I had to fight and fight and fight and fight to not get that COVID-19 vaccine. And I eventually got out, but at the very beginning, they straight up told me, if you don't do it, you'll get a dishonorable discharge.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, nobody got out dishonorably because of it, but there have been people that got kicked out of the Marine Corps because of it. And on either side of the thing, I believe that if you believe that you needed it to be safe, that's good for you to go get it. But I believe that at that time, I was 25 years old, and I was fit as a Marine, and it would have zero effect on me. And the studies came out and was showing that the vaccine would actually cause more issues, not less.
And we've found out quite a bit from it now.
Right. But I mean, that fast tracking just kind of smeared over all that, you know. So that was kind of a debacle. But you don't feel like you want to have to. You didn't. How am I going to say this? You had a choice, but they were taking away your choice to keep you in the career you wanted to be in. So, yeah, that's. Anyway, well, you are very much for transparency.
Yes.
I think Dan and I speak on that same level. We think that everything should be more transparent, and you want to help a true desire to help the citizens that you're working for sure.
So what's next for you?
So
Just more campaigning, and how can people get a hold of you, and how can people connect with you?
Yeah, so you can go to my website at votecopeland.com, and you can go click on contact. I've got a phone number on there you can call, and I've got an email there that you can send an email to, and I check that email 5 times a day. And my phone's kind of been a little funky, so if I don't get back to you, I will give you a call back.
Okay.
And so those are 2 great areas. And then AR Vote Copeland on Facebook is my Facebook page.
Okay.
And I'm constantly posting things on there too. So you
Okay.
can
And they can
know a
reach
little
out that
more.
way as well.
You can reach out that way as well.
Okay.
And you have several that are running for the same position.
Yes.
And we're trying to talk to all of you, you know, just to give you a little bit of a platform. So we appreciate that you came in this morning.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say to our listeners and viewers out there?
Arkansas is ranks 51st on voter turnout, which means that there's 50 states. We rank even behind the District of Columbia whenever it comes to voter turnout. Your voice matters.
Yeah.
And the only way that you can give that voice is to get registered to vote and go vote.
Okay. And I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Put up or shut up.
Yeah.
so to speak.
And it's so easy to vote nowadays.
Yeah.
Back several years ago, you had to go to a district, you had to find out where it was at, and you know,
It was a little complicated.
more complicated.
Early voting starts when?
It starts February 17th.
February 17th. You can vote early then or wait till Election Day, which is March 3rd. Okay. Well, it's nice to meet you, Truman. Thank you for being on the show. We are glad to be able to feature you here.
Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. We're going to go to another break, and when we return, we'll have Wanda Massengale in the studio with the Pet of the Week. Stay with us. We'll be right back.